Morning, gang. It's Friday, the 23rd of August, 2019. Welcome along to the Chapel Hill Marina and this morning's United Kingdom talk. I'm just sitting here. Is it normal? Is it normal to make stupid faces at the camera before you turn it on? And strange noises. I'm looking at, before I switch the camera, and I'm looking at it making stupid faces and strange noises. Honest. Not a joke. I sit here counting down to myself. 10, 9, I stand by. I sit here counting to myself. That's not normal, is it? It really isn't. But nevertheless, on the good side of things, the sun is beaming out this beautiful morning. In front of me, as most of you know, is a field. Literally, in front of me, open my door, there's a big field in front of me, no one else. And it looks like they're about to cut down the I think it's barley, I don't think it's wheat, it's barley growing out there at the front there. Half of it is now flattened. Well, I didn't see them cut that, so I don't know when they did that. So it's like, you know, there's a long bit, and then that bit further over there is all now flat. And I must say, wheat and barley, when it's just cut down, I mean, it looks beautiful anyway. It's got this golden glow to it, isn't it, as you look over there. And when it's just been cut, it's just like, you know, when you cut the lawn, those of you lucky enough to have gardens, when you cut the lawn, it's just like that. It's all beautiful and correctly cut. It's like someone's gone out there. I mean, because the further back you stand, the less errors in sort of some are long and some are, but it'll all look roughly the same. A little bit like my head. You know, as you can see, if you come close up, you can see there's a tiny little bald patch appearing in the middle there. If you stand 3 miles away from me, you can't actually see that. Or me, come to think of that, actually, when I think about it, or me. Yeah, so it's a bit like that. And it just looks lovely when it's all being cut like that. But there's a long bumpy road between me and the swimming pool. It's just one of the many roads I travel on to go from here to the swimming pool, which is in Boston. And it's a very bumpy road. And throughout this week and some of last week, I've noticed these great big machines cutting, what are they called? Combine, I think they're called combine harvesters. I'm not sure, but great big machines. And they're chopping this wheat and doing stuff to it, right? And the dust coming across the road is unbelievable. You see this dust. So when they start doing that in front of me this year, I should make sure my doors and windows are closed, or I'll be just like my mate with an asthma attack when I coughing away. But it does look really beautiful out there this morning. The Met Office say this morning there was widespread fog across parts of the UK this morning. Well, I didn't see any on my way back from the karaoke last night. There was no fog at all between Cleethorpes and Chapel Hill there. Apparently there was. It says it's going to quickly lift as a heat wave pushes its way across the country. It's a heat wave. Oh, yeah, it's a heat wave. I think that's Martha Reeves and Vandellas. I might be wrong there. If Ray Reynolds is with us, please correct me, because Ray knows all things about everything, except maybe some of the technical stuff. If you've got a question, ask Mr. Ray Reynolds. He is our top brain person here on this. No, it's not going to be a millennial, dear. They are as thick as planks. Oh, I haven't got a house. I can't afford this. I can't moan. Snowflake. I've actually got a snowflake type story today, which you might know involves Piers Morgan, who I have to say isn't my favourite person on the telly. However, he comes out with some very sensible stuff. Was it Heatwave, Martha Reeves and Vandellas, Ray? I'll come to your messages in a moment, boys and girls. We've also got the raffle tickets to give out as well. It says here, rush hour motorists were warned to drive carefully in the first widespread fog of the season, particularly in the early hours. That is early, isn't it? Fog this early in the year. Usually, I don't know, mid-September, October, you get a bit of fog. It says here, things are due to clear up as people head for the hills. The hills are alive with the sun. This is what you want on ITV in the morning, dear. Not Holly and Philip, dear. I should be on there giving entertainment to all people on ITV Colour. Possibly on Thames. This is Thames from London. There's another one of Ray Reynolds' badge. I've got the Thames one on this morning. He said, it says, Met Office forecaster Sophie Humans said temperatures are expected to be between 7 degrees centigrade and 50. Oh, that's Thursday evening. Why is that yesterday? Well, I pulled that off the morning paper. I don't know what they mentioned in yesterday on there. Because we never look backwards, always look forwards, boys and girls. Always look forwards, unless you're about to die. Not a good idea to look forwards if you're about to die, you know. Okay. She added the fog was expected to disappear between the hours of 7 and 8, so that maybe that's why I can't see it. But there was certainly none on the road between here and Cleethorpes and here on the way home. From Friday afternoon, okay, here we go. Southeasterly winds will draw warm air from Europe. Well, I hope there's not a lot of them farting, because it'll stink. If the people of Europe are farting big time this morning, it's going to stink here later on. Awful. It'd be like going into my nephew's house with the bloody kids having farting competitions all the time. They think it's hilarious. Great nephew Harry, he loves to pretend that he's coming to cuddle you. He sits on your leg and then farts loudly. And they're loud. I can't believe a child can make such loud farting noises. He's only 6. And then he runs upstairs before I can hit him. And then the girl does it, Evie. She's 7, and I have to say, I'm sorry, I can't get on with all this. You know, everyone is the same. Girls and boys are all. I have to tell Evie, it's not a ladylike thing to do to fart on someone's knee. Don't stop her doing it. You think that's bad enough? Great niece Emily, my niece's little girl, she goes even further. She pulls her knickers down, right, when you're not looking, and tries to sit on your head and do it. What's wrong with these two? Is this a normal thing? Seriously, she tries to climb on your head with a naked bum and fart on it. Oh, it's awful. There's going to be a terrible accident someday. Oh! Oh, children, don't you find them hilarious, children? If you've got any children, great nephews, or perhaps your own, they're hilarious. But I never did stuff like this. I mean, I cannot imagine being like 5 or 6 years old, taking my trousers and pants down and farting on my uncle's head. It just wouldn't happen, would it? Something's gone wrong here. Something's gone seriously wrong. It says, temperatures today will rise to 26 degrees centigrade. That's about 78 Fahrenheit in London. And the rest of the UK will be largely dry with loads of sunshine. How lovely. However, oh, the Scottish people. I'm sorry, Scotland. Okay, with you. Mull of Kentai, by you, Banny Brankside, by yon bonny braes, and the sun shines great on Loch Lomond. Extra songs and singing for you this morning. However, in Scotland, there will be a series of showers. Oh dear. With the northwest being the most affected area. It says for the rest of Scotland, it's probably going to be quite cloudy most of the day, but the southeast will be a bit better. And I have a theory for that. I have a theory why the weather has recently been so bad in Scotland. It's that poison dwarf you've got in charge. What's her name? Nicola Sturgeon! Nicola Sturgeon, we want another vote! We want another vote! Shut up, dear! Go away! We're not interested! Go away! I won't be spoken to like that! Shut up, dear! God, on and on she goes, dear. On and on. It says by Monday, temperatures may reach 33 centigrade, 91 in southern England. So very, very hot on Monday for most of us as well. So that's to look forward to, isn't it? Because we haven't had a particularly good summer. I don't think it's been cold. I haven't really been cold. I think I had the heating on one night. Last week it was. Just one night. That was. But that may mean wasps, boys and girls. That may mean wasps. Wasps are reaching peak activity during the summer months, particularly in August and September. So watch out. This month, we can expect to see a lot more. In fact, according to experts, we could be in for a bumper wasp season. Watch out for those wasps. They're evil. But I'm sure they're very necessary. Like bees. going around. I like bees. Do you like bees? You can go right up to flowers and watch them. They fly right past it, not interested in you. They might have a quick sniff around you. Don't start waving your hands about. They don't like that, my dears. They don't like that, but they're not interested in you. The moment they have a sniff of you, especially you, you know, the moment a bee comes and has a sniff of you, it'll go miles, dear. You stink. You stink, you do. I'm sorry, you do. You stink, and that bee will go straight past you onto the flower, and you can go right up to it, literally right up, and watch it doing its work, you know. Absolutely fascinating creatures. I would steer clear of wasps. They tend to, I mean, even then, don't wave your arms around. Just stay still, and it probably won't hurt you. I say probably. I say probably. It says the summer has not been that drastic, but the on-off balmy weather does mean that we should expect a few more wasps about. I think it was last year. It was particularly bad up here last year. Not so much at the caravan, but there's a village that my sister lives in, Woodall Spa. It's a large village. No, it's not a large village. That's wrong. I would say it's a small to medium village, Woodall Spa. And there were so many wasps around there. In fact, they actually got inside the co-op. There's a co-op in Woodall Spa, and they were bloody everywhere around the fruit. And, oh, it's awful. It was awful. They're gone now, so, I mean, that's good news. But watch out for the wasps. And if it's not wasps, then if you're driving or taking a train this weekend, oh, dear me. I'm a little bit concerned about the journey in today. On the other hand, because tonight, of course, I leave Lincolnshire to go back to London for karaoke tonight at Central Station, Friday night karaoke. And on a normal day, I just, there's not really much traffic at all going into London. I do pass quite a lot of queues that are coming out at various points of the A1M. Okay, so I do get to quite a few queues of traffic's coming out, but I wave to them as I'm going past. You know, I don't think it'll be any worse today because once again people are leaving the city. I don't think many people go into London for a holiday. I mean, why would you do that? Yeah, unless you're visiting like Buckingham Palace, as the Americans say, Buckingham Palace, or the wonderful things at Madame Tussauds. I went to Madame Tussauds once. Oh Christ, one of the most boring visits I've ever had in my life. I mean, you all know what Madame Tussauds is like, don't you? It's waxworks. You go in and you see waxworks of famous people. Oh, I gather that who did they move from? Cheryl Cole. I think they moved Cheryl Cole because she's no longer relevant. Ah, how embarrassing is that? Cheryl Cole's waxworks was moved out of Madame Tussauds because she's not relevant anymore. Pfft, I think we know who should be in there, don't we? Go on, have a guess. What waxworks should be in Madame Tussauds? Can you tell? It should be me. I should be a waxworks. Anyway, but I found Madame Tussauds really boring. I went years ago with my sister, and I can't remember who came with us now. One or two of the nephew and niece. I can't remember who came with us to Madame Tussauds. But we walked around there. We knew it was waxworks, but we went around. It was so boring. Absolutely bored as anything, just looking at these things, walking around. And you have to queue for ages to get in that place. There used to be a stargazing place next to it, an observatory type place. But that no longer exists. I think Madame Tussauds just expanded into that. It does say in this morning's BBC website, drivers are being warned of hour-long delays on some roads as traffic builds up over the bank holiday weekends. Rush hour motorists in much of the UK and then it goes on with the weather again. Congestion is expected to build between 11 o'clock and 6:30 as millions take to the roads. And rail travellers, and I heard this, there's a whole line out somewhere. I can't remember where it was now. I heard it on the radio. It says, round travellers have also been warned to expect delays with the closure of London King's Cross. Oh Christ, that might affect us tonight then. We might have less customers tonight. With the closure of London King's Cross and reduced services on parts of the rail network. And it was saying on the television this morning, who was it? Oh, it was Naga again this morning. Actually, she was quite friendly today, Naga. She was quite fresh. She wasn't up her own arse at all this morning. She was very good this morning. She winked at the camera a couple of times. I quite like that. Someone winks at the camera. And they were saying, the best time to travel, if you can at all leave it until after 9 p.m. tonight. And that is actually a great time to travel, middle of the night. I come up here 11 o'clock at night from London to Lincolnshire on a Monday. It's a great time to travel. There's no queues anywhere. If you're unlucky, the bit where I have to come through London, I might keep hitting red lights. But then some other times I get all green lights. So you never quite know. It's just it's a pain in the arse every time you move forwards and then there's a red light. Oh, gosh, another one. And you stop again and you stop again and you stop again. And other times straight the way through with a green light. But that's how it is. Anyway, that's your extended weather forecast and traffic information for you here on United Kingdom Talk. So good morning, gang. Let's see who's there today. Good morning to Mike Rees-Ponto. Good morning to you, sir. Gary Butler, nephew Gary Butler in the house. He's doing a little job for me next week. He's putting a shed up because I'm running out of space in here. I've got so much rubbish in here now. It's becoming like it is a second home. This place is like a second home, but I've got heaters now that I'm not using anymore, so I want to put those in the shed. I don't want to get rid of them just in case something goes wrong with the heat pumps the heat pump thing that I've had installed here, so I keep them as a backup. Morning to SOS Gregorian there on YouTube. Morning to you. Morning to Shania, who's on the... Oh, are you here on the mainland today, Shania? Are you, darling? Good morning to you. Morning. I'm still not 100% sure what hymns I'm going to have Sunday. I know I said last night, I think I've selected them. I'm not sure yet. Morning to Diane Jeb. Good morning, Diane. John Aitken says, I'm early again. Early bird catches the worm, John. Remember, we are not scheduled. We could appear at any time, dear. Any time. Morning, John. Morning to Gaz Barron. Good morning, Gaz. He turned up at the karaoke last night. He sang 6 songs, more than anyone else last night. It wasn't that busy. I have to tell you, at the karaoke last night, we think most people... I know it's Cleethorpes, and that is the seaside. But you must remember... If you live on the seaside, you're going to go somewhere else for a holiday, aren't you? So that's, I think, where everyone's gone and the bank holiday business. So it was a little bit quiet last night. That being said, we started the karaoke, I think, a bit early because I was ready. 9 o'clock is the normal time. I think we started about 8:45. I don't hang around. If I'm set up and I'm ready, we just start. Some of these people are very funny with work, aren't they? They won't start until their time. That being said, I do like to finish on time. If it's 12 o'clock, it's 12 o'clock. It's not 12:05, it's 12 o'clock. I like to stick to that. The trouble is, always on a karaoke night, you get to near the end of the night and people, you've got your listener. Oh, can you do one more? Well, 5 people probably say to you, can you do one more? And if you do one more, the next one will say, oh, but you let them do it, you see? So you have to be really strict with the time with that. But Gaz was there last night. I do have a laugh with Gaz Barron there from Cleethorpes. Good morning, Gaz. Hello to Zia. Welcome to the show, Zia. Michael Lawrence in the house. Morning, Michael. Joanna. Oh, I'm so glad you were there, Joanna, to hear all the singing this morning. It must have been a real treat for you this morning. I've sung about 3 songs so far, haven't I? Morning, Joanna. I must tell you, Gaz, do you know what Gaz said to me yesterday? Why do you talk so much crap on your show? That's what he said. How rude is that? I find this a very interesting, intellectual, educational programme, dear. You don't get this on the Jeremy Kyle show. No one's going to come in and start fighting here and swearing and ghastly people, dear. But they've got a new... they're going to do something with the ITV morning schedules, which I've got the story here, which I'll come to in a moment, okay? Morning to Rachel Wheatland. I've got your name right at last. That must be the first time. Good morning, Rachel. Welcome to the show. Rachel shares the show to her wall. Thank you very much. If you could share the show to your various walls, boys and girls, that's much appreciated. We're desperate for numbers here. Desperate, dear. Desperate. What have we got this morning? Only 21 million. Very disappointing. Where is everyone today? Good morning to Heidi. Morning, lovely Heidi. You're right, sweetheart. I think you had a little bit of a chat with my mate yesterday, didn't you, Heidi? Good morning. Michael Lawrence, it's a nice sunny day. It certainly is. It's beautiful out there. Morning to Adam the plumber. Good morning. Rachel said it's so much better than watching the news on TV. Do you think so, Rachel? Well, I do try and do upbeat. You know, there's plenty of news stories I could choose from that will depress you, something chronic. I do try to choose stuff which is a little bit more upbeat and kind of happy. We do touch serious on occasions, as you well know. But I do try and I go through quite a lot of the papers. By the time you've seen me, I'm sitting here for... It depends how difficult it's been to find good stories. I've been here 20 to 30 minutes before you actually see preparing stuff. That's what I do, all right? There he is. Good morning to Ray Reynolds. Good morning. Rachel said, is the old Roman road called the Fosse Way? Are you talking about the bumpy road that I'm on? No, the bumpy road going from Chapel Hill to Lincolnshire is called North 40 Footbank. North 40 Footbank. That's the name of the road. Okay. Morning to Ray Reynolds, who's telling us not to panic. And he says that because, of course, we've got the Dad's Army on the channel Gold. I don't think it's called... Is it called UK Gold or Gold now? That's on Sunday, 8 o'clock. It's an old episode that's been lost, okay, that they've remade with obviously new actors, because most of the wonderful actors on the original Dad's Army are now dead. I think we've only got Ian Lavender left and the vicar. I can never remember the vicar's name. I think he's still alive. But we've got the first one on Sunday at 8 o'clock, and then the next one's on Monday at 8 o'clock, and then Tuesday at 8 o'clock. That's the remade Dad's Army episodes are on Gold this weekend. 8 o'clock on Gold, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. I can't wait. I can't wait. I really can't. Although, actually, my mate's supposed to be recording for him. And if he's in hospital, I don't know how he's going to do that. He's probably got some sort of way of doing it remotely, knowing him. Oh, he's got all the gadgets, my mate. Oh, yes. He turns his heating on from wherever he is in the world and sets... Oh, yeah, I'm sure he'll be able to set a recording on his mobile phone. Very clever. Good morning to Adrian Richardson. Good morning. Matthew Van. Good morning to you. Rachel's got three children, but they're teens and they're still doing things like that. Oh, my God, blimey. You'll have a broken neck if one of them sits on your head, Rachel. All right. Joanna, too early for singing, do you think so? Hello to Tommy Thin. Good morning, Tommy. See, you had your 3/4 length shorts on karaoke last night. Very fetching. Do you think so? I've got them on now, actually. I've actually got them on now. I prefer wearing shorts. I'll be honest, I dress for comfort. Now, I couldn't care less, you know, that it looks a bit ragged, to be honest. I do tend to dress for comfort now, especially if you can't see the top half. What's the point? What's the point of me sitting here with a nice pair of suit trousers on if you can't even see them? Morning to Mark Kepner. Morning. Yeah. See, Mike agrees. Why haven't they got a wax version of you in Madame Two Swords? I'll tell you why they haven't got a wax version of me in Madame Two Swords, Mike. Because I'm so hot, it would melt. That is a true fact. I'm so hot that they have tried on many, many occasions to make a wax model of me, and it's finished, and they put it in position. They get up the next morning, and there's just this pile of wax on the floor. Like a melted candle, except much fatter and bigger. There it is on the floor. Because I'm so hot, it just melts, Mike. That's how it is. All right. Let's carry on. Good morning to Matt Walters. Morning to you, Matt. Oh, there's the lovely Colin. Good morning, Colin. He's a big fan of the Duchess, as indeed I am, Colin. I haven't seen the Duchess since I worked with her at the place in Clapham some years ago, and she really wasn't looking forward to going on the stage, and eventually she did, and it was fine. And then the time before that, I bumped into her in Gran Canaria, and we had a laugh there years ago. Oh, that's going back 10 to 15 years, that is now. Wonderful, wonderful person, the Duchess, I have to say. Good morning to James, James Sinney. Morning, James. All well here, thank you, sir. Thank you. Good morning to my sister. There's my sister, Sharon Butler. She's there as well. Not doing anything as usual. You know, she crawls out of bed, really lays on the settee, opens another bottle of gin and another box of chocolates, sits down and puts me on. We've got so much more viewers now since Jeremy Kyle died. On the telly, that is. Not in real life. Died on the telly. Morning to Cameron. Good morning to you, Cameron. Did you miss it? What did you miss, Cameron? What did you miss? Let's have a look. James says, Professor James, you won't trip me up with that. Do you know how many people are... You're not the first person to do that, dear. Do you know how many people have tried that, James? Please. Will Barton is there. Good morning, Will. There's no couches for sale here. People keep messaging me and saying, is there a couch for sale? I don't know why. Have none of you got couches? Dear me. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel, incidentally. We're trying to get to 1,000. I'm about 250 away, so I've not got much hope, to be honest. But it's Chris Reardon UK, youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK. All right? Let's just scroll down there to the other ones there. Bum, 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 bum. Right, come on, where are we now? Back we go. Good morning to Angela Walters. Morning to young Angela. Nice to see you, my darling. And is that it now? That's hello to Texas, USA. Simple Man's Barbecue is in Texas, USA. A very good morning to you as well. Scrolling down, there we go. And there we are. That's it. Good. We're at the end of those messages there. Now, don't forget we've got the raffle tickets coming up as well. We've got the big raffle on Monday morning, boys and girls. You can win a fridge magnet. It's just a fridge magnet, not of any value really. You can have a photo as well if you want. So Monday morning is the raffle draw. I'll be giving out raffle tickets for that draw on the show today. You can have one each, boys and girls. Anyone who tries to get more than one each is immediately barred from the competition. And I'll take any raffle tickets out that you've got already. If you're watching the show as a recording rather than live, you can email in for your raffle ticket right up to the beginning of the next show. All right, now let's have a look here. So, I watched Dragon's Den. Are you into the new series of Dragon's Den? It's very good. They got a new girl on there now, I mentioned once before, who doesn't look that old. I don't think she's more than sort of 32 or 33 years old. She looks ever so young. And the big sort of thing on this week's Dragon's Den was Porridge. Porridge. This bloke had bought out a new lot of porridges that you could make with water, and they would come in a little packet. They were a bit pricey. I think he was saying these packets of porridges was something like $2.99 or $3.99 each, which I thought was incredibly expensive. You can buy a whole box of porridge for like £1 or like 89 pence in Aldi or somewhere like that. But these packets of porridge, you just rip the top off, put them in and mixed them with water, and that was it. And I think there were various different flavours. Anyway, it was a husband and wife team, and they were ever so nice, these two. They'd done several different porridges each, and they made them in front of the dragons, you know, Peter Jones and the lovely Debs Meadham, who I love Deborah Meadham, and handed them out. And all the dragons enjoyed it, so much so that they had 5 offers. 5 offers, and they couldn't choose. They were having trouble choosing who to go with. There was a couple of people who did joint offers, like Deborah Meadham and Peter Jones. They did a joint offer, and Tuka Sullivan and the new girl, well, I can't remember her name now, they did a joint offer. But then Tej Navani, I think it is, Tej Navani, he came in with an offer on his own, which was less money. He wanted less money from them than the others did. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you need to go with Deborah and Peter. And he didn't. I would have gone with Deborah and Peter, wouldn't you? If it was a choice, I would have gone with Deborah and Peter. But that's it, really. You know, that's one of those things. But they didn't. So they went with the other guy. Good morning to the lovely LaBelle. Hope you're well, LaBelle. Hope you're doing very well. Nice to see you there, my darling. No, don't worry about those other people. They can talk to themselves if they want to. It doesn't really bother me. The more messages, the better. It makes me look better, to be honest, I think. So that was that. I do love Dragon's Den very much. On the way home last night from the karaoke, stopped at the Tesco's. They do the cheapest petrol in Tesco's that anywhere that I know. In Cleethorpes, this is. Don't know what you're paying in London at the moment. Probably 132, 130, 129. Certainly our Sainsbury's in Bracknell, 129.9. Tesco's in Cleethorpes, 122.9. Get in there. Save that money, baby. Save that money, all right? 122.9 at Tesco's in Cleethorpes. That's what I paid. Got back here, and that's it. I had a spare smart plug. You know those smart plugs where you can you get your phone and you can turn stuff on and off with your smartphone wherever you are in the world. I had a spare one, and I had this idea. I thought I'll connect it to my kettle. Now my kettle up here in the caravan is only 900 watts. When you're in a caravan, you don't have so much electricity coming in. A normal kettle works perfectly all right, but you're kind of, if your normal kettle's on and you've got something else on, it can trip the electric and you have to go outside and switch the bloody thing on again. So I've got a 900 watt kettle now. So I plug that into my smart socket and set all that up. Oh, it's fantastic. Now, when I'm about 10 minutes away from home, I switch on the kettle. I did the same this morning. I have it on a timer now. It's got a timer on it as well. So this morning, I got up, the kettle's boiled. It's like having one of those Teasmades. Do you remember those? Teasmades. Did you have a Teasmade? Little goblin Teasmade. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Did you have a goblin's Teasmade? Fantastic things. It was just like that this morning. I've got up, the kettle's already boiled. Wonderful. And I had that and some porridge as well. Good morning to Martyn Edwards. Welcome along to Martyn Edwards. All right. Excellent. So that's the story of my day yesterday. Now we've got some bits and pieces here. Now we're talking about television. ITV are about to change their morning television. They are indeed. I understood. Perhaps, I'm sure I read somewhere, because I don't really watch ITV in the morning or BBC comes in. I have breakfast news on, BBC Breakfast News. Rachel says, no Teasmades before my time. Oh, please, Rachel. I bet you got one next to your bed now. Little goblin Teasmade. They were ever so cute, these things. Bit noisy. You'd wake up and there'd be this bubbling noise and water pouring into a cup. And then you put the milk in, and the milk had been sitting there all night, so that had got off. They're wonderful things, those little things. And I go in the morning and I put BBC Breakfast on. Sometimes I flick quickly over to Piers Morgan to see what he's got to say. But I understood that they put Tenable on in the morning, which is one of the most bland, boring quiz shows ever in the history of television. In the Sun this morning, Jeremy Kyle, Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield could replace axed Jeremy Kyle show with bumper this morning in ITV's schedule. I hope this isn't going to affect my viewing figures. I shall be very, very, very upset if it does. Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield, bosses are considering a brand new ITV morning schedule that would see the television favourites take to the screens at the earlier time of 10 o'clock in the morning. They would, well, it's only half an hour, isn't it? What time are they on now? 10:30? I mean, that's hardly story. The fact that this morning's going to start half an hour early, I don't see that's much of a story. It says they would fill the extended slot with a new feature showcasing viewers' funny letters and emails, according to the Daily Mirror. It would form part of a total overhaul of the ITV schedule, with bosses hoping to make mornings feel like more of a live event. At 6, well, it is live, isn't it? All that stuff. Oh, they want the whole morning to feel live. Well, I like that idea. I do like that idea. As you know, this show is live, unless, of course, you're watching a recording. Good morning to Trevor Campbell this morning. Good morning, Trevor. It says at 6 o'clock, the lineup would kick off with a 30-minute news bulletin before newsreaders pass over to Piers Morgan and Susanna Reid on Good Morning Britain. Then Piers and Susanna would hand over to Lorraine Kelly at 9 o'clock. I can never understand a word she's saying, dear. Okay, we know. Good morning, it's Lorraine Kelly here. Ha 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 ha. I think she's great, Lorraine Kelly. I can't watch her for too long though. She gets on my nerves in the end. A bit like you watching this programme, probably. They hand over to her at 9 o'clock before she in turn passes the baton to Holly Willoughby and Phil Schofield at 10 o'clock. The presenters would chat to each other as one show passes on to the next, a bit like they used to do with radio. Do you remember that? I know some of them still do it, but certainly on LBC the next presenter doesn't talk to the... I mean, a quick hello, I think. What happens on LBC, which I rarely listen to now, to be honest. So one programme will be finishing, let's say. And I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Coming up next, it's Nick Ferrari. And then Nick starts talking. Hello, everyone, and on the show today. But there's no communication with the two. I mean, it does have to be... You do have to have a bit of chemistry between two people to be able to do this. I've heard many times on independent local radio where they've just got two people and they talk to each other, but there's no chemistry. A good example of that would be Kay Burley and the excellent Steve Allen. Steve Allen can talk to anyone. He can do anyone. But Kay Burley was doing a show after him on LBC about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And he would try and talk to her, but it weren't coming back the other way. And this sounds excruciatingly, it just doesn't work. So it's got to be the same. And there's a similar thing at the moment, actually. Two people who do it, or someone who tries to do it, is Nick Abbott and Matt Stadlen. When they change over on a Friday and a Saturday night, Matt, I'm not a fan of Matt's at all. I don't like his program at all. But that's only my preference. It doesn't mean he's bad. It doesn't mean he's no good. It's just not my cup of tea, And he kind of tries to talk to Nick, but Nick ain't having any of it. It just doesn't work. What happens is that Nick says, and I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10. Coming up next, Matt Stadlen. And then he says to him, have you heard, Nick? And he comes out with something. And you're thinking, oh, Christ, this is just not working. Don't sound good at all. So you do have to have chemistry between people. It may well work. Oh, dear. It may work for this. It says in The Sun again this morning, presenters will chat to each other as one show passes on to the next, according to the proposal submitted to an ITV focus group. It says, from crying with laughter at naughty pictures innocent kids have drawn, to recalling personal funny in relatable anecdotes. Nothing is off limits as they talk about the stories and pictures of the day that have grabbed their attention. ITV want the show to have the feel of a continuous live broadcast featuring favourite and familiar faces, you see. But once again, I think, they're sticking to the same people, We want someone new there. Why don't you give the show to someone new, someone different? It's always the same old people they keep trotting out of their homes onto the telly. Ben Shepherd, Keith Lemon, Holly, Philip. Holly and Philip, fantastic broadcasters, but come on, let's see someone new for a change. Fed up seeing them. It says here, now this is where I thought it was tenable, but it says the 9:25 to 10:30 slot has been temporarily filled by Judge Rinder since Carl's show was canned. Now, I quite like Judge Rinder. He's hilarious. He is so dry. I love Judge Rinder. ITV has been agonising over a permanent fix to replace its most popular daytime programme that regularly attracted 1 million viewers. And that was because someone killed themselves. Holly and Philip are each on around £600,000 a year. That's not a bad gig, is it? Ha! Don't get that from our karaoke's. They were the number one choice to fill the empty slot. But they're already on a successful show. Why extend that? Put something new on. Let's see something new. Rachel says she loves Judge Rinder. Yeah, I love it very much. Love it very much. Rachel, the Simpsons are selling a nice couch. Go on there then. All right. Good morning. Just Shade on a cool day. Were you brought up in the 1970s? Correct. Can you tell? A great time to be around as a child, the 1970s, except when the lights went out. Which wasn't too much of a bad thing, to be honest, when those lights went out. Not really. Not really. One of those things. All right. Yes, Judge Rinder is great. And Ellen DeGeneres. Oh, we love Ellen. That's a good show as well, isn't it? Ellen. Quite like her very much. Yes, the Ellen Show. Good. Now, what else have we got here? Brands. This again was on the television this morning, and I've pulled up the story from Which. Now, I didn't know Which had a website. I know Which had a website, but not like something that you wouldn't pay for. I always thought Which, you know that magazine Which, where you open it and it tells you what you should buy, perhaps, or suggests to you what you should buy and what you shouldn't. Good morning, Roy Brownlow. No, you haven't missed it yet. We haven't done it yet, Roy. So hang around and I'll sort your tickets out. Best and worst brands for customer services in 2019. Have you got a account with First Direct? Well, good news for you. First Direct, the bank, has been named 2019's Customer Service Champion, coming in first place out of the 100 brands in a latest poll. The online bank finished narrowly ahead of Lakeland and Marks and Spencer's traditional clothing and homewares arm, with 2/3 of respondents giving First Direct the highest rating possible. It's a good bank to be with. Obviously a good bank to be with. The highest rating possible for the attitude of its staff, with one customer telling which that its human touch sets it apart. Oh, I can only dream of being touched by another human again. Will it ever happen? That is the question. Who wants to touch me? Michael Pullman, good morning to you. Morning, Michael. Roy says, did you know that's the Liverpool Football Club clock? Is it? It's just a cock clock. It's a cock, dear. Look, cock, as in cock and hen. It's a cock clock. Nothing to do with Liverpool, dear. I don't know anything about football, thank you. Nothing about football at all. No idea. It then says the best and worst brands for customer service. So the top ones, okay, so right at the top there, First Direct, as mentioned, 94. Have you got good thoughts or anything like that with shops, or bad thoughts? Who was your worst customer service people? Let me know. Put a message out. I'll read it out. Good morning to my mate. There's Ronnie. Morning, Ronnie. I did try and call you before I started the show. I'll try you again afterwards, my darling, all right? Ronnie's not very well at the moment. He's got lung infections and things going on. If you talk to him, he'll tell you about it within the chat screen. He'll always answer you there, okay? Yes, First Direct is the bank. 94% of respondents gave it positive ratings for customer service. Wow. First Direct cruised into the top spot. Oh, Ronnie says his brother's wife, his either wife or girlfriend, I can't remember now, knows Judge Rinder. Is that right? Oh, I think he's fantastic. Judge Rinder is fantastic. Michael Lawrence is going to touch me. Michael, you are welcome. As you well know, dear, you are welcome to touch me. Not Adrian Richardson. He likes to have a little feel as I'm walking around doing the karaoke. Please stop that, Adrian. I can't be touched by you, dear. Michael Lawrence, yes, please. Thank you very much. You know I've got a little affiliation to the darker skin, don't you, Michael? You know that, my friend. You know that. Here, my mates with First Direct. Well, they're the top. They are the top, Ronnie, of all customer services. In second place is Lakeland. You might have seen the little Lakeland magazines. I bought something from them once. It was a chip cutting thing. So you put your potato in and little bits of potato come out the other end. When my mate comes round for lunch, we often have Slimming World chips, but you make them yourself. You get a bit of potato, put it in this machine, pushes it forward, lay them out on the tray, give them a bit of spray light in the oven, 25 minutes. Oh, delicious. They're delicious. That's if we're not too desperate to have them and we take them out early. Then they're a bit mushy, aren't they, Ron? And again, it's very easy to burn chips. You know, 2 minutes can make all the difference. Ronnie says, can I be touched? Not by me, mate. Thank you very much. I will come and visit you at the weekend, but don't be doing any bloody touching, dear. No, keep your hands to yourself, please. In third place for great customer services, Marks and Spencer's for clothing and homeware. 86% are very happy of the people that were surveyed. It says, as well as being efficient at resolving issues when they arise, Marks and Spencer's has well-mannered staff. They certainly have. Number 4, what do you think number 4 is, Ronnie? It wasn't number 1, it wasn't number 2, it wasn't number 3. Who do you reckon number 4 is? Yes, correct. Waitrose. I have told you so many times, you cannot fault Waitrose. I don't shop there anymore. I became really tight. I started going to Aldi. The Aldi staff, they're pleasant enough, but they haven't got the time to talk to you and the customer service that Waitrose have. You cannot fault Waitrose for customer service, quality of products, the way the stores are set out. It's just nice. It's really nice. 85% of people surveyed said Waitrose had fantastic customer service. It says problems are rare, staff are friendly, and complaints are resolved quickly at the top rated supermarket. Absolutely. Number 4, Waitrose. Equal number 4 are Waterstones. I've only been in Waterstones a couple of times. I've bought books and I just don't seem to have the inclination to want to read a book anymore. I don't know why that is. But Waterstones also earn high marks for its clued up staff. Waterstones were rated as friendly, helpful and respected. So that's Waterstones bookshop. Okay, they're the top 5. Rachel says Tesco is my shop and Iceland as well. Iceland, yeah. It used to be called B-Jams, didn't it, Iceland, years ago. Morning to Ben. Morning to the lovely Ben, who is wishing us happy Friday from Barcelona. La 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 la, Barcelona. La 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 la. Good morning, Ben. Nice to have you with us. Nice to have you with us there. Roy got £15 free McDonald's vouchers today after complaining I got food poisoning there. Well, at least you're not dead. At least you're not dead, Roy. Congratulations for not being dead. Spanky Monkey says, do you like Mr. Bean? I love Mr. Bean. I love it. And the cartoons. My great nieces and nephews, they actually watch the cartoon version of Mr. Bean. And there's one, doesn't it involve a cake or something? I'm sure there's one that involves a birthday cake or something like that. They keep watching the same ones all the time. All right. Let's have a look there. Roy, Aldi and Lidl, home of the chav shopper where the carrier bags cost more than their beans. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is so true. That is. Right. So they're the top 5. They're the top 5. Now, what do you think of the bottom 5? Okay. Position number 96 for bad customer services are, surprisingly to me, Virgin Media. Although the rate of people pleased with Virgin Media is only 54%. I've got to tell you, up at the house, I'm with Virgin Media. I've been with them years. And I've been very, very happy with the service there. Never really had a problem. If the line goes down, which I suppose in 10 or 15 years has happened about 3 times, it's fixed very, very quickly. It says, when given a list of adjectives, people were most likely to choose successful and greedy for Virgin Media. I would say greedy. I think their pricing is a little bit out of control at Virgin Media. It's outrageous, much to the point that this year I tried to change my broadband supplier because I thought they'd become very greedy with their pricing. Very greedy. All right? I let my contract run out. I tried to renegotiate before the contract run out. No, they weren't having any of it. 2 days, and I'd arranged actually to go with Vodafone. I'd arranged everything a couple of days before my Virgin Media one run out, and then it run out. Okay, so from that point, I'm with them another month before I'm cut off. Right, so I've cancelled the contract. 2 days after I cancelled the contract, they rang me and matched the the Vodafone deal. But you can't do it before the contract. You've got to let the contract run out, and then they will contact you and match whatever you tell them. So I told them I was going to go with Vodafone, and it came down from I changed my my level of speed as well. I went from 350 meg to 100 meg. Noticeable difference? None. No noticeable difference at my end. Okay, the speed test tells you that you're now getting 100, it was about 110 meg instead of 360. But to the user, myself, not really much noticeable difference at all. No buffering, anything like that. Perfectly normal. So I did change my level, which should have taken it down from £53 to 46. Okay? So I should be paying £46 per month for my Virgin Media broadband. I cancelled the contract. 2 days later, they rung up. She said, okay, what's Virgin charging you? Vodafone, I said £22 or £24, one of the two. Okay, we'll match that from this month. and we'll give you 18 months. Worth doing. £24 a month for a broadband line. Yeah, that's reasonable. £46 a month for a Virgin broadband line. No, not reasonable. So I was ready to go. Ready to go. I was all set up. They rung up, so I stayed with them. You know, for the sake of not having to have anyone come round and start digging holes and putting new wires through the house and what have you. People are not happy. Only 54% of Virgin Media customers are happy with their service. Talk. We're always hearing about Talk. Always hearing about Talk and their bad customer service. Well, 53%, more than half of Talk's customers said they'd made a complaint in the last 12 months. More than half. Dreadful. Next down, position number 98 in people happy with their customer services. In 98th place, British Telecom, who I used to work for. People weren't happy then either. I left and it all fell apart. Customers find staff members aloof. Aloof. That's my mate. Aloof. Customers find staff members aloof. Plus 3 in 5 say BT is poor at handling complaints. Is Paul and Lou with us this morning, by the way? Paul and Lou, are you there? BT is poor at handling complaints. BT in 98th place. Mike says, when 5G broadband gets going, Virgin will lose customers. I think so as well, Mike. Either that or they're going to have to go on some sort of price-cutting type scheme. They might hold on to people for a bit longer with that, you know. But the 5G will be incredibly fast. I keep seeing stuff on YouTube about 5G being dangerous for people and what have you. So I don't know how true that is. We'll soon find out. If we all start getting terrible brain tumours and things like that, like in 10 years' time, then we know what caused it. Adrian, I said it was cheap by £5 because they should give a good price first time. Yes, they should, Adrian. Yes, they should. But for the sake of not having people come in and put new wires in, I thought, OK, fair enough. You've matched them for 18 months. I get that price then. £24 a month for 18 months instead of 46. Did I tell you that? The correct price for the 100 meg Virgin broadband line is £46. Unless you're a new customer, you get that like half price for 6 months or something. It's £46. I'm getting that for 24. I'm pleased with that. I think £46 for a wire is outrageous. I really do. Rachel says she's never had any problems with BT. Good morning to the lovely, delightful Tiffany Sharp, who's on this site where I am now. Morning, Tiffany. I sent you a little private email about the router thing you're having problems with. I've been on the new router now 2 weeks, hasn't cut out once, just to let you know that, all right? But I understand you're not wanting to spend the money, because you shouldn't have to. Did you get onto 3, by the way, Tiffany? Did you get anywhere with them? Did you manage to get a Huawei cube out of them? Because that's working all right. Rachel said my brain's gone. Where's it gone, Rachel? Roy wants to know, is there a customer services complaint? If so, please post it for us. No, nothing. Nothing, I'm afraid, Roy. There's no customer service complaint here. If you want to write a letter, feel free. Feel free to write a letter of complaint to the email address. There it is. That's the email address. Okay, write a letter of complaint there because I'm always looking for different types of toilet paper to wipe my bum on afterwards. So you feel free to send that. I'll print it out and use that. All right. Okay, in 99th place of people happy with the people that they are, companies that they do business with. Good morning, Tony Power. Scottish Power have an incredibly low rate of 46%. 46% of Scottish Power's customers are happy with the service. Only 46%. That's dreadful. Scottish Power customers say they don't feel valued. A third described the energy company as arrogant. Scottish Power. And then finally, in 100th place, the lowest. Any ideas who that could be? Ryanair. Surprise, surprise. Listen, if you paid me to go on a Ryanair flight, I wouldn't go. Look it up on YouTube. The people that go on there are absolutely ghastly, some of those customers that they have on there. Not only that, it is just off. The seats are so close together. I'm surprised anyone can fit in between those seats. Anyone sort of let alone if you're a little bit large, you know, if you've got a bit of a stomach like me, God knows how uncomfortable it must be to sit on a bloody Ryanair plane. Look it up on YouTube and you'll see how close those seats are together. That being said, I am a bit of a fan of Michael O'Leary. I like his attitude. You know, this is it. Take it or leave it. It's like me doing this show. Take it or leave it. There you go. Ryanair, perhaps you've got an experience with Ryanair. Ryanair, very poor at handling complaints and most likely to be described as greedy and sneaky. Yeah, I go along with that. You got your headline price for the flight, $9.99. And then it's going to cost you £3 to print off your own boarding card or whatever it is. Or if you forget your boarding card, it's going to cost you £100. No, I wouldn't go on a Ryanair flight if you paid me. I'm serious. They're 45% of customers are happy with the service. I think it's 45% are happy or are unhappy. Yeah, 45%. So 55% are unhappy with Ryanair. Just imagine owning a company like I don't know, like Ryanair or something, and you knew that 45% of the customers, like 55% of the customers, were unhappy. Wouldn't you want to do something about that? Awful. It says in which Ryanair, on the other hand, were rated the worst firm for customer service. Passengers were left feeling undervalued by unhelpful staff and terrible complaints handling. I remember, 20 years ago, I was doing a job in, it was either Italy or France, I can't remember. Anyway, they put us all on these Ryanair. I was DJing, and I had my bag of records. She said, "What's that?" I said, "It's record." "Oh, you're going to have to pay for those." It wasn't record, it was CDs, actually. "Oh, why is that then?" "Well, you're not allowed to take that on. You're only allowed one bag. Take it over there and pay for it." She was so rude, it was unbelievable. It happened to be the night after St. Patrick, so I don't know if she was pissed the night before or something. And I opened the case in front of her, started putting these CDs in my pockets. She said, "What are you doing now?" I said, "Well, I'm taking out the CD so it don't waste as much. I'll put it in my pockets." And she went, "Oh, well, there's a queue behind you." "Well, I won't be long." I'm doing. Just put them all back in the case and put it on there. And she took them. No extra charge. Bitch. Mike, customer loyalty stands for nothing these days with all these big companies like Virgin. No, it doesn't, Mike. It really doesn't. I like to think I'm a very loyal person. I do. If you give me a job, if I come and work for you, Mike, right, and I've been with you, well, as soon as you take me on, right, if I'm happy, you're happy, I'll stay with you. Bloke next door might go, "Oh, I'll give you another £50 a night to do the karaoke." No, I'll stay with you. I've got to be really, really pissed off to leave a job. Believe me. Really, really unhappy to leave a job. I will stay with you even though other things come along. And that's how I am. Tiffany, I did cancel the contract for free after 4 months. Had to dig my heels in though. No idea, but was fed up with it. So have you not got broadband now, Tiffany, or did you go with someone else? Oh, really? Cancelled the contract. Yeah, they don't like you to leave. I never forget, Tiffany. Morning to Daniel. Morning, Daniel. Nice. I hope to see you tonight. Yes, lovely to see you, Daniel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry, Tiffany. I kind of lost my thread there. Yes, 3. Now, as I say, I bought a router, a TP-Link router, which has been perfectly all right. No more problems. But we shouldn't have to do it. You're absolutely right. I understand where you're coming from. I do remember years ago having a 3 phone when they first came out, and it just wouldn't work. And I got onto them, and I wanted to cancel the contract. I'm telling you, I was on the phone for ages. And this bloke in India or Pakistan, wherever he was, I don't know, it was one of those countries. And he was like, listen, and do you know what he said? He said, listen, I'm on my knees now begging you to give us another chance. And I'm like, are you for real? I'm on my knees begging you to give us another chance. I said, no, you've had so many chances. No, because I'd been on the phone so many times about this bloody phone. Anyway, I said, cancel the contract, and I put the phone down. I followed it up with a letter, I think, or an email. No, I don't think there were any emails. That's how long ago it was. I think I followed it up with a letter. And that was it. But the bills kept coming. The bills kept coming. And then I got this. I'd get one bill that said, I'm £5 in credit. I'm £5 in credit. This will be refunded to you to your bank account. And then the next day, a bill would come saying, you owe us £12. And that's how it was. This went on for weeks. Weeks. Dreadful. Dreadful. Trying to cancel it. I am back with 3 now. I've got a free phone. That's not quite right. This isn't a 3 phone. This is I bought this outright. It's an iPhone 8. Not the most modern of phones these days, but that does me. I'm quite happy with that. I've got a 3 SIM card in there that I've never had a problem with. So I wouldn't buy a phone from them. I'll buy a phone direct from Apple or someone like that, you know. But most of the problems don't seem to be the network. It's when people have problems with their phones and they can't get another blooming phone out of them. But yeah, I've got SIM only. I've been with 3 now, I think about 2 years now, on a SIM only deal, 20 quid a month, and that's it. I've not had any problems. The only problems I've had was with that Huawei router, and it took a bit of digging. Which Mike Responto did for me. He's the one who found out that it was the router. Okay, the bloke at 3, the first person I spoke to, said it might be a router problem, and they were waiting for an update. Anyway, then the next time I rung, it was something else, and then the next time something else, and they kept coming out with different excuses. And then Mike Responto is with us this morning, who likes Ryanair. Oh, Mike likes Ryanair. Have never had a problem flying with them. Fair enough. That's fair comment, Mike. Fair comment, mate. Fair comment. And he dug around, and we found a lot of people were having problems with the Huawei router. So, and then I started looking around, and it seemed that people cured the problem by spending their own money, which they shouldn't have to do, spending their own money buying a different brand of router, which I did. I got a TP-Link. Cost me 90 quid, but it solved the problem. You know, I'm lucky that I'm able to do that. Other people can't afford to do that. It's wrong, isn't it? It's very, very wrong, Tiffany. But for 22 quid a month, you see, that's the other thing. You know, it's dirt cheap, and it 3. Dirt cheap. And now it's working perfectly all right. I say that touching wood here because you never know. There we are. Okay, so that's our customer service. Get ready for the raffle tickets, gang. Let's just read some of your messages here. Michael Lawrence says, not much leg room on EasyJet either. Again, Michael, it's been many, many years since I've been on an EasyJet. I would imagine that the seats are closer now than they used to be. Tiffany flies Ryanair from Stansted to Oslo several times a year. Are you Norwegian by any chance then? Is Oslo is that Norway? Just a matter of I just wonder why it's always Oslo that you fly to. I fly Ryanair from Stansted to Oslo several times a year. Never had a problem. One slight delay. Never paid more than £40. Can't complain, you see. So people are saying something different according to that story there. Tiffany's watching on her phone. So presumably you've got no internet there at all. What are you going to do, Tiffany, about your internet? Are you going to try someone else? You could try someone else. I don't know how you're going to do that, my love. Most people on this site seem to have Vodafone. I don't know if that would do for you. What you'd need is to borrow someone's router or phone with Vodafone and then see what the signal's like in your van, because it can change so much. You know, this caravan here might get a really good 3 signal. The one next, I certainly don't get a good Vodafone signal here, because the lady who was here before me, she had a Vodafone. You know, the little white box, the little mobile Wi-Fi broadband things. She had one of those, and it wasn't very fast at all, the speed coming down, which is why what I did is I went out and bought a pay-as-you-go SIM. You know, one of those. So I just bought, you know, £5 or something like that, just to try it out. and it worked really well. So that's why I bought one there. Let's have a look there. Tony Power. Oh, look, Tony's had a toilet problem for ages. No, not it as in a human toilet problem, a plumbing toilet problem. Looks like you've got some problem with your waterworks there, or your bowels, Tony. Great nephew Harry has a lot of trouble with his bowels, judging from the smell coming from it. Tony says, I finally had my toilet problem last week sorted. After the plumbers visited 4 times, they couldn't work out why the toilet wasn't flushing properly. After putting in a new toilet, it was probably you. It's probably, what are you eating, Tony? You're blocking it up yourself, dear. Only half the water was coming from the tank when it was flushing. The plumber was just about to concede that he could not work out what the problem was when I discovered that it had to be the pipework coming from the tank to the toilet that was restricting the amount of water flowing into the... Was it a thin pipe, was it? The plumber took the pipe off and cut away a bit of plastic inside the tube, which was restricting the water flow. Problem solved. But it took me to suggest that this could be the problem. Plumbers, oh dear. Well, you should be paid to do the work, dear. You should be paid to be doing it yourself, Tony. Rachel uses Tesco's pay-as-you-go, 3G data, 1,000 texts and loads of minutes. There we are. Oh, okay. Well, you're asking for the tickets. We'll do that now. Hang on a minute. She's going away today for a few months, so not bothered. Oh, good luck to you. Have a lovely holiday, Tiffany. Take me to another country with you. Oslo. Is it Oslo? That is Norway, isn't it? Oslo, have I got that completely wrong? I've got unclassified for geography, as well as many other subjects, to be honest. Never mind. We can't all be clever, can we? As I don't know, those of you that were with us on yesterday's show, we did this quiz. It was basically some GCSE questions, and we did that together. I think I got 4 out of 9. Thicko. Was it 3? I can't remember now. Alrighty, let's do the raffle. We've got a raffle draw on Monday. You can win a fridge magnet. You can have a raffle ticket. Just ask me one now. Or if you're watching a recording of the show, you can email in. Lots of people emailing in for their raffle tickets. Those of you that watch, more people watch a recording of the show than watch it live. Okay, so if you're watching a recording, get your email off now to that address, and I'll send you a raffle ticket. If you're watching live, how do you know it's live? Well, look at the time. Then look at the clock behind me. If it's just gone 10 o'clock here in the UK on Friday the 23rd of August 2019, you're with us live. If you're in another country, you'll have to work that out yourself, my darlings. I know 5 hours in New York for LaBelle, for example. But if you're with us live, ask for a raffle ticket now. And Ronnie gets the first raffle ticket this morning. Good morning, Ronnie. You are ticket number 224 to your collection point, please. There you are. You've heard that a few times when you've been sitting in Argos, haven't you, Ron? Ticket number 2. No, you don't buy everything from John Lewis. No, you don't. I've seen you in Argos, secretly going in there, sitting on one of those very uncomfortable plastic seats, dear, watching the little ticket and the 2 boys who work behind there, incidentally. Very delightful boys. They've been there for some time, those lads, actually. How old are they? Probably about 28, 30. Gorgeous lads working in Argos. Oh, sorry, I'm getting carried away. He just goes in there to watch them. He does, my mate. He goes in there to ogle at the 2 boys that work behind the, getting the stuff out as it comes down that chute. He pretends that he's waiting for something. After 2 hours, they go over to, excuse me, are you waiting for something? No, I'm just watching you lads. Ticket number 224, Ron. All right, there you go. Ticket number 225 are for Roy Brownlow. Lovely, Roy. All right, Roy. Roy Brownlow, ticket number 225. Okay, are these shows getting longer? They are, aren't they? I don't know how that's happening. This show is only ever supposed to be 45 minutes long. I only ever want to do a 45-minute show. They've got really long in the last week for some reason. I must be lonely sitting here. I think that's what it is. Mike Reese Ponto, can I have a fridge magnet for helping you sort your router out? Mike, that's twice you've said that now. I will have to buy you. That's very naughty. No favouritism, dear. No favouritism. Even my nieces and nephews, they haven't spoken to me all week because I won't give them one. Absolutely not. Ask for a raffle ticket. Mike Reese Ponto, thank you. Your ticket number 226, Mike. 226 for you there. Okay. Raffle draw is on Monday morning, sometime between 8:30 and 10 o'clock. Okay. Raffle ticket number 227 for the lovely Michael Lawrence, who's promising to touch me, aren't you, Lawrence? Michael. He's promising to touch me next time he's in Central Station. Number 227 for you, Michael, my love. All right. Just scrolling down. Diane Jebb. There she is. Number 228, Diane. Hope you're keeping a note of your numbers. You don't need to, actually, because I write your names down on the back as well. You see? Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Diane Jebb. Ticket number 228. Ticket number 228. Rachel, baby. Oh, Rachel. Oh, Rachel thinks that Mike Rees-Ponto deserves a fridge magnet. Oh, well, okay, Rachel. If you win, I'll send yours to him, shall I? That all right with you, my love? Okay, then I'll do that, as you've suggested it. Rachel Wheatland. Number 229, Rachel. All right. Where are we? There we are. Tony Power used to travel with Dan Air Dan Air! Oh, that's a name from the past, isn't it? Back in the 70s, when every second one of their planes used to drop into the sea. Is that right? Oh, how awful. It's frightening, really, isn't it? Rachel enjoyed the quiz. We should do it every week. I would do a quiz perhaps once a week. The only thing is, Rachel, you can't just, if I was to buy a quiz book, as far as I know, you can't just read that out. You'd have to get permission from the publishers and copyright issues and things like that. The thing is with newspapers, you can quote from newspapers on a radio show, okay, as long as you mention the newspaper. You always hear me say, you know, in the Sun this morning or in the Daily Mail this morning, it says, and then I'll read it out. That clears me. You've got to give credit to the newspaper, you see. With a book, I think it's a different thing. If you look in the back of books, it will often say, you know, this must not be reproduced electronically or anything like that. And for that, I read into that myself, that you can't read. I couldn't just buy a book of questions and start reading them out, you know. Michael Pullman. Did I do yours, Rachel? Yes. Rachel. Michael Pullman, number ticket 230, Michael. Michael Pullman. What's the time? 230 for Michael Pullman. All right. I don't think I'm going to have time to go swimming. I might go for a walk. I'm going to go for a walk this morning. Nice walk. I'll go and put my bins out. Got to go and put the bins out around that smelly place, Tiffany. Isn't it horrible round there with all those bins? Get a lot of flies around there this time of year. Morning to Paul and Lou. Morning to Paul and Lou. Paul and Lou. We could have done with you earlier, Paul and Lou. We had some naughtiness going on the YouTube. I could have done with you blocking the people, but never mind. Next time. 231 for you. Okay, Paul and Lou. There's your names on the back there. I don't know why this camera doesn't seem to be able to see. I think it's probably just a bit too bright in here. That's what it is. Can I just try turning this light off and see what happens? Right. Oh, look at that. You can see. Actually, do you need that light? Do I need that light on? Do I need that? What's better, this? Okay, and you can see that now, Paul and Lou. All right, 231. So you can see that clearly. I think that light's too bright. Paul and Lou, 231. Is that better or is this better? Tell me, please. What's better, on or off? Okay. Joanna, number 232 for the lovely Joanna. Joanna actually should have several tickets for putting up with my singing. Joanna Ebola. I'm going to call you Ebola. You don't mind, do you? Joanna Ebola. Don't go too near her. Especially if you're my mate. Don't go near Joanna. She's got Ebola, Ronnie. You know you pick up those infections. 232. Okay, Joanna. Thanks, darling. Paul and Lou, I've done yours. Mike, I've done yours, haven't I, Mike? I'm sure I've done yours, Mike. Rachel, if you're not live, you won't see the big red live sign in the top left corner. Depends how they're watching. I don't know if that goes on all the platforms, that red thing. Oslo is in Norway. I thought so. Driving to Dover this afternoon. Oh, that's a drive from here, isn't it? Drive France to Belgium, day there, then Germany to Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, Norway. Little adventure. Come on. That's great, Tiffany. Are you... Oh, it's a bit of a personal... Are you going on your own? Or do you have a husband or something? I mean, I travel on my own now. Unless it's family, I travel on my own. I've been on holiday with friends, and it just doesn't work for me. We always end up having rows, and I hate rowing with friends. I really do. It's just awful. So I travel alone. I've been to Australia, Caribbean, all sorts of places. Israel. That's great. Oh, that's great. Oh, Israel, Tiffany. You don't need to be religious. All that stuff you learned about at school, there it is in Israel. You're standing at the place that Jesus is supposed to be hung from the cross, and they have all the religions are there. They have the Muslim, you know, those dome things that they have. I can't remember what they're called now. They have synagogue. They have the Jewish people are there. Oh, it's all there. It's fantastic, Israel. Highly, highly recommended holiday. It really is. I went there on my own. I had a blooming marvellous time there. Absolutely marvellous. Ticket number 233 goes to my sister. Hello, Sharon. She's another one. Oh, give me a fridge magnet. No! Get a ticket, same as everyone else. I've got to be hard, dear. Hard. Ticket number 233 for you. Okay, yes. Can I... Look, Paul and Luke. Another one. Can I have a free fridge magnet for being the admin on YouTube? No! No! No favouritism, dear. No favouritism. Dan Air Comet Jet. Oh, the Comet planes. Yes, they were not safe, those Comet planes, were they? Before Boeing came along. Comet planes, very unsafe. A Dan Air Comet Jet from Manchester to Barcelona crashed in the... buried a mass grave. Oh, gosh. In the nearby village of Duchess on July the 6th, 1970. I remember that. Christ, how old was I then? I was about 7 years old. I remember that. Tiffany is pretty much full again and stinks. The bins. Tiffany's talking about the bins. We've got lots of bins there around the corner. Green ones for like normal waste and blue ones for recycle. And there's not enough of them. It's not the site's fault. It's the bloody council. They're a nightmare. This bloke comes from the council. He goes through the blue bins. He finds one thing in there that shouldn't be a great... When I say blue bins, I don't mean household paladins. You know, the great big things, right? He'll open the thing, go through it, you know, and he'll find one item in there that shouldn't be in there and then refuses to take the whole thing. And there's so much rubbish there, just blooming council it is. And they charge the site a fortune, because I'm talking to Sylvia about that. They charge this site an absolute fortune to take the rubbish away, and they don't do it properly. Councils do what they blooming well like, don't they? It's so annoying, it really is. Lights off. Really? Lights off. Okay. Lights off. Really? All right, let's turn the light off. Tell me, I'm going to turn this light off now. You tell me if it's better with the light off or better with the light on. On or off? Just one word, okay? Let's have a look there. No, Rachel's on Facebook this morning. Rachel's on Facebook. She likes to change and keep us guessing, doesn't you, Rachel? Roy, naked in the bathroom, shaved head, face, arms and pits. You don't shave your armpits, do you, Roy? That's a lady thing, and it's not for real men like you, dear. I'm surprised you're... Yeah, are you shaven? Poor Rachel was all alone on the United Kingdom talk page, so she's here now. You choose wherever you want to be, Rachel. We don't mind. Yes, they were on YouTube, Mike. Those couch messages were indeed on YouTube. Loads of them. They were on Facebook as well. Tiffany, her partner is Norwegian. Been here just over a month, so I'm going back with her. You have a lovely time there, Tiffany. I've never been to Norway. It is a place I'd like to visit. The fjords. Oh, my God, how beautiful. I like country, you see. I like country. I'm not a city person anymore. I was brought up in London, and it's not for me anymore. Blooming buildings and pollution. Oh, the Norwegian fjords. We've all seen pictures of those. I hope you'll be going there. How beautiful the scenery there. Bit like the Scottish Highlands. I like it up there as well. Although I haven't been for years. I keep saying I want to go up there and go on a bit of a walking holiday or something like that, you know. Joanna's promising not to infect me and Ronnie with Ebola. Just your singing. Hey, Tiffany wants to go to Israel. It's on her hit list. The list is long, slowly getting through. Yeah, you'll have a lovely time in Israel. You really will. Wait till you see Tel Aviv. Oh, it's fantastic. They're all travelling around on electric bikes there. And they go whizzing quite fast, about 15 mile an hour. I think you can hire one as well. I loved Israel. Loved it. And the people. I went into a synagogue and they just to have a look around. And they were so welcoming. They said, "Are you Jewish?" I said, "No, I'm not Jewish. I'd just like to have a look." "Oh, right, okay. Well, this is where we pray and here's our books." It was fantastic. Lovely people in Israel. Let's carry on there. Oh, no, Rachel says it's a bit too dark, is it? Do you think it's too dark now, Rachel? Do you think so? Oh, I can't decide now. So Rachel says it's too dark. Who said light off? Was that Michael? Someone said, what do you want the light on or off? Michael Pullman says light off. Okay, so that's light off. What's better, light off? It's not the only light in here. This is one just right, or light on. What do you prefer? What do you prefer? Everyone got the tickets, right? Raffle tickets. Lines are now closed. Boo! No more raffle tickets today, gang. All right, all raffle tickets have given out. If you're watching and you still haven't got one, then email me, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and let me know you want a raffle ticket. I will reply to your email with the number of your raffle ticket. All right? Excuse me. Okie doke, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday on this Friday, the 23rd of August, 2019, to Peter McGee. Morning, Peter. 59 years old today. Your life starts next year. You haven't had it yet, Peter. Your life starts at 60. 60 is the new 18. Absolutely, Peter. Happy birthday to you, 59 today. Martyn Edwards. Oh, I think you were with us. Aren't you with us this morning, Martyn? Did I see Martyn Edwards at the top of the list somewhere? I'm sure I did. Martyn Edwards' birthday this morning. Good morning, Martyn. Lovely picture of you with the little things on there. Morning. Robert Singers today is 33 years old. That picture is hot, Robert. Hot. Good morning, Robert. Elena Treble-Clef Winehouse. That's great. Elena Treble-Clef Winehouse. Good morning to you and happy birthday to you. Betsy Norris is 69 years old today. Happy birthday, Betsy. Sullivan Patrick, happy birthday to you. Scott Clancy. Scott's a great bloke. I used to have such a laugh with him when I DJ'd at Blues's and did the karaoke at Blues's in Hammersmith. Good morning, Scott. He bought a boat. I don't know if he's still got the boat or not, but happy birthday to Scott. Collette M. Stewart. Good morning, Collette. 56 years old today. And Tony McFarlane Smith. Good morning, Tony. I haven't seen you for God knows how long. 10 years or more, something like that. Happy birthday to you, Tony, and indeed everyone else whose birthday it is on this Friday, the 23rd of August. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, boys and girls. Okie doke. Mike says, can we now see YouTube messages here? No, I don't think you can. I did get onto them yesterday about that, actually. If you're on YouTube, you can now see the Facebook messages, okay? But if you're on Facebook, you can't see the YouTube messages. They can't get it working that way, but they can only get it working that way at the moment. You never know, something might change there. So that's the news there, okay? Tony Power says, life starts at 60. The grave diggers will be knocking at your door soon to do your measurements. I'm sure they won't, Tony. Well, it's Friday night tonight. I'll be hosting karaoke this evening at Central Station Bar. That's in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Show starts at 8:30. Come and sing us a song. If you want to, you don't have to be a great singer. It doesn't matter. It's all about having a go. If you're the worst singer in the world, I don't care. Just come along and enjoy yourself. Central Station tonight. 37 Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, London, from 8:30 p.m. All right, I must get my stuff together now. I was gonna go swimming this morning, but 10:20, 11, 12:20, it's gonna make it a bit tight. So I'll just go for a walk. I think I'll go for a little bit of a walk. I go down to the bins and have a love. There's a lovely walk along the river up there. If you go one way, the only thing is one way. You go to get cows. You can bump into cows. And I was looking up on YouTube, cows attack the other day. And you don't want to be attacked by a herd of cows. They're a little bit frightening. Me and my brother-in-law and my sister, we went up for a walk that way. And we came to these cows, which were like at this sty. You had to cross over the stile, you know. So they were one side, we were the other. And they were mooing and they came towards us, mooing. I'm not sure that mooing is friendly. I was a little bit scared by the mooing, so I might not do that. I don't think I'll go the other way this time, along the other river, because it's a beautiful day up there, and go for sort of an half-hour's walk. Trouble is, I'd like to go swimming, but the trouble is, it's half hour to the pool, you see, so it's half hour to the pool, half hour back, that's an hour. And I can't afford the hour on a Friday, unfortunately. Moo! It is scary. Have you ever stood near a cow mooing? They're scary, man. Oh my God, moo! I'm surprised my sister doesn't do mooing, what with her being a bit of a cow as well. You know I joke, you know I joke. Thanks ever so much, gang. Hopefully I'll speak to you again at some time tomorrow morning from Bracknell in Berkshire. If you're around tonight, and you're too far away to come to the karaoke, you can watch our live karaoke stream of all our wonderful singers. That's up here on YouTube, youtube.com/ChrisReardonUK. Have your little notifications thing switched on. You'll need to subscribe to have that on. So youtube.com/ChrisReardonUK for the karaoke stream tonight, which should start around about 8:30, sometimes a bit earlier, sometimes a little bit later, but generally around about 8:30 will be our live Friday night karaoke stream from Central Station. Have a lovely day, boys and girls. Been a pleasure sitting here talking to you again this morning, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye now.